We're going to see some very fast gameplay here. This will mostly be NMG strats because they know where they're going. They had 25 minutes. They found out where they all are. We can see on our on-screen tracker that we will probably need. We'll definitely need to find Quake. Looks like Stir Rock is a pendant, so more likely we won't need Ice Rod today. Looks like a Neorific's timer is missile. Alright. Anyway, as you see, now they're in Link to the Past. Looks like there was nothing. Oh, wait. Or was there something in Retrobrand? Neorific's going out to Retrobrand. I wonder what item's down there that is making him go down there first.
Iris picking up the missile in Link's house. Yeah. And it's like, for those kind of quick items, you just might as well pick it up, especially because it's like, you're going to be skipping a lot of chests, so where you know there's ammo, you probably just want to pick that up. Because if you're right in front of a chest, the cost of picking it up is not really that high.
Also, our runners decide that they want to go get Vanilla Morphle? No way. Wow. Vanilla Morph Ball. Plus, the chest has at least silver arrows, and I want to say the flute. Is it the flute? It's the flute. Oh, what? I also read the spoiler log? No way. As Link comprises himself. As I said, as he was saying, this is going to be a mostly go mode seed. How fast do you think these runners are going to do this seed then?
I mean, I think the average on these is between an hour and a half and 2 hours, depending on runner skill and just how the seed is. We see Angles. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Hesitating a bit as far as whether to pick up that red rupee, but decides he wants those rupees.
Oh, well, there's the bow for those silvers. That gives us clear.
Yeah, so that bow pickup may signal that there's something in Potter Eastern.
Alright, so we're going to check out Blind's hut. 5 items up for grabs here. Looks like we're going to grab all 5 since we bombed the back, his only bomb. Piece of heart, full heart, and reserve tank. While that's going on, we have ammo all throughout the well and some money. Looks like Ankles is rechecking the spoiler log. Mind you, these runners can not only check the spoiler log, they can be in chat while we're commentating, and they can also look at stuff. Oh, speed booster. We're going to go ahead and salute the duck because the flute is done, the national anthem, whatever speed gaming memes you want to sneak in here. And Neorific just got himself into Link to the Past.
Yeah, so now we've got 2 runners checking the well and finding a speed booster there. So
Aussie using that 50 he got from the well to buy bombs. Looks like we were going to be needing them. And he flutes out. He decides nothing else in Kakariko is required, but he's going straight for Mini Moltorm, though.
Or he's going to go straight for a fake flipper, which means that something is probably either at Zora or at Hobo.
Nothing at Zora, because if there was something at Zora, he would have already, gotten his 500 rupees.
Yeah, so what could be at Hobo that you'd want right away. As Iris activates their flute. First power bomb pack at Hobo. Power bombs are one of those kind of like kind of an underappreciated progression item. If anyone remembers back to the first spoiler race, in that first spoiler race, the first power bombs were somewhere deep in Meridia, and
Left
it was
Sandpit, and that one power bomb pack not only blocked all the bombs, it also blocked morph ball bombs. And it was a normal seed.
yeah. I remember I was one of the racers in that seed, and that took me a while to parse out.
Ooh, Aussie getting a big payoff from his uncle. He has a lot of ammo. See, what else is he going to do? He knows where Morph Ball is. He can start clearing out Super Metroid right now if he wanted to. Looks like he wants something else from Hyrule Dungeon, though. Now, I wonder if Speed Booster was meant to be the way to get into Brinstar without bombs. And Aussie fake flippering sequence broke that.
Yeah, that's definitely possible, and that would be a pretty significant sequence break in terms of just speeding up the progression of the seed, because it's always annoying to have to go through a speed booster where there's only a few checks you can make in Brinstar to get like one progression at the very end of that, and then have to make your way all the way back. So,
I jumped a little late. We do have this race going on our French restream on Speed Gaming Francois. So go ahead and say hi to Number Play as he does all this. We're actually somehow he has the same tracker. Our awesome Mind of Me tracking today.
yeah, Aussie killing these guards with bombs, which, although slow, does work. Yeah, so that glove is not the only thing he was after, though, because he's going all the way down to Zelda's cell. And Iris is following in his footsteps.
As his angles.
Yep, and Iris using the blue cane to take care of these guards, which I think is a really smart way of taking care of them.
Now, People's played enough standard openings to Link to the Past Randomizer. More than
Hammer!
one. Oh, Hammer! Woot! Alright, well, we got Glove, we got Hammer.
Yeah, so now we just need Moon Pearl for Dark World access.
I mean, that's Ryan Terminator, so that's just somewhere that Austin will probably be going here soon.
But yeah, Angle's also going and picking up.
I think we're being corrected. That's Angels right now.
And Grapple Beam in back of Escape, or which could mean a number of things. It could very much mean an item at Shack Tool, because Shack Tool is the only location that is hard locked by Grapple by logic. Or Aussie just wants it for faster movement.
It could be like the only way through some rooms, and if he's going to do low percentage, he doesn't want to like take damage in the spike room and bowling or anything like that. Aussie's going to go for his Morph Ball.
Yeah, I mean that's also certainly a possibility that he just wants it for convenience. But it could also signal something at X-ray or something in wrecked ship, although I know that Aussie is very comfortable with doing a CWJ to wrecked ship, so
I'm
that's
surprised
probably less
Iris, she
likely.
reset to Metroid. It looked like she was going to follow Aussie's path. Decided against it. It looks like she wants the peeps too. She forgot to get the peeps.
Yeah, that's kind of easy. Like, it's kind of easy to kind of forget one step in these spoiler races because you kind of come up with a plan in your head, but there's all sorts of things you have to remember. And so sometimes you can just forget a step like Moon Pearl or Power Bombs, and then you're like, oh, wait, I need this other thing.
I was just about to go get his arrow soon. We are seeing Mini Mordrum on Neo's side. And it looks like nothing's in Billy Mays, as Aussie's just going to go ahead and avoid it. So it looks like Iris is following the same path Aussie's doing. So right now, if that's the case, Aussie does have a slight lead right now. Oh, Fire Sword. There's our first sword. And Aussie was thinking about leaving, decided against it. Oh, no, he just wanted the speed booster for the easier kill on these side hoppers.
Yeah, Aussie showing off his very high skill level at this game, as Iris is going to go to find her morph ball.
That could have been the first Powerbomb pack there if the game intended for you to speed booster all the way down Big Pink for that.
Yeah. I wager to guess that that was the logical first Powerbomb pack, but yeah, you're not gonna waste time doing that if you know there's a faster one you can get. And looks like there's nothing really else in Brinstar that Aussie, or at least in pink and green Brinstar, because Aussie's just leaving.
Well, this space jump, that's something.
Yeah. Space jump will be really convenient, which also begs the question of if he knew where that space jump was there, that indicates that there was a reason he wanted that grapple beam.
The other things, plasma could be in like Ganon's tower or something like that, and you know he can't X-ray Dragon, so he might be going for the grapple Dragon kill.
Yeah, he does have speed booster though, so I imagine that will be the method he goes for Dragon. So I'm guessing at this point that there's a possibility there might be something at Shack Tool. Iris getting her first sword.
We're going to Beta Peeps right now. Let's see what's in Beta Peeps. And it's script. Oh wow. Okay, well, Super Metroid's basically free now, as long as we find the suits.
Yeah, so I imagine Aussie's heading right to wrecked ship, so maybe we'll find a suit there. Kana Samaria at the high jump E-Tank location, and the other glove at the high jump missile location. So we know where Titan's mitts are, essentially, although none of our runners quite has that yet.
So Austin's going to go ahead and do 2 E-Tank, 10 missile Phantoon. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's used to doing any percent Neuro, and in that case, he'd have one more missile pack, but one fewer E-Tank. So it's a bit of a trade-off there, but honestly,
Iris went
like,
ahead and got Wave Beam, by the way, while this was all going on. We did find Spazer, I believe. Someone pointed out Spazer was someplace. I didn't see what that was.
Yeah, Wave Beam's another one of those just nice to have items. And oftentimes in these, like if beams are not super out of the way, I'm just gonna go for them because they will speed things up significantly, especially if you find charge.
So Iris went ahead and got her Moon Pearl. Those poor space pirates, they have never died that way before. Every day they find new ways to get killed. So Neorific is going to have Mitt and Hammer here soon. We know where Moon Pearl is. Honestly, getting very good drops on those the fire tiers for missiles.
Yeah, and yeah, having a lot of health drops spawn there is really important because what makes Suitless Phantoon really difficult is the fact that everything does 40 damage, but the health pickups only give you 20. But Aussie's health is high enough that he doesn't really need to worry about that at the moment. And Aussie takes care of Phantoon and with full health exiting this fight, which is definitely like really difficult. And Blue Mail is at the Mission Impossible power bombs, so Iris deciding to pick up that safety for herself.
Now, one of the things about these spoiler logs is how comfortable are you with these games? We know Aussie's a top tier player, so he's not going to be gaining that many safeties. Like, I'd be surprised if he gets that many more powerbomb packs now that he has 15. He doesn't need ice beam now because he has 15 powerbomb packs. He will need a couple more E-tanks, but that'll be about it. Question in chat. It's called Mission Impossible because in the very first movie back in like 1996, I think that's when the first movie came out, there was a whole scene where Tom Cruise goes in through the ceiling and gets back out without like touching the ground after grabbing the item. It's called Mission Impossible because if you do it just right, you can actually do that in that room, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah, it's really difficult, but if you can manage to get basically quick drop through the crumble and then land in a wall jump pose on the item, then you can wall jump off and get back up.
Before the doors close. Honestly, grabbing Spring Ball. He's definitely in go mode now.
Yeah, so that spring ball could signal that he's maybe not even going to bother with gravity because spring ball is one of those items that makes Suitless Meridia much easier. And Aussie also going to Gauntlet, so there must be a good item here.
No, there might be good items for like safety, and then he could turn right and hit Terminator. He won some money too.
I very much doubt that 20 rupees was what he was after. So there's got to be something in the back.
Alright, looks like Neorific tried to do a hell run, but unfortunately it backfired, so he's now back into main criteria. We know what a lot of items are here from. High jump boots! He was okay. So if you guys missed it, the Super Metroid Randomizer League is going on now, and they did a open race that everyone can join. And he ended up winning on Restream, and he was basically like, high jump boots is like one of the best items ever, and he did the whole scene with the high jump boots. Oh, he's also grabbing wave beam. Okay.
Yeah, but you know what that high jump boots really means. So he now has spring ball, he has grapple, and he has high jump boots. So he has everything he needs for Suitless Meridia. So I think we may see him complete this seed without ever picking up Gravity Suit.
Which is
may
easily possible. Because
Yes.
he doesn't have to enter the area where gravity is to complete the game then. Or the dungeon.
So what that signals is that Gravity is probably in a very awkward location in this seed.
It is. Like, if this was an actual seed, that gravity is in a horrible place. I would expect all these runners will be doing Suitless Meridia for it, if this was a normal seed.
Yeah, I have not looked at the spoiler, but I can hazard some guesses as to where it could be. Also, he's going to pick up his Titan's Mitts and Kane. And Iris also picking up her high jump boots. Angels, meanwhile, using Blue Cane to make that dark room significantly easier. I'm seeing all sorts of Blue Cane strats that I should employ if I'm in a run in that situation.
No, you don't normally play regular Link to Pass Randomizer, do you?
Yeah, I mean, I've mostly played SMZ3. I played some like standalone Link to the Past randomizer, but not a whole lot. As Aussie goes into Crocomire, so there's got to be something good behind Croc.
As I was going to say, as Angels is fine. Armos not Silver. Silvers is in a super easy get to location. I'm surprised they didn't get the Silvers before doing this, but there's a mode that starts you out like if it's the regular Link to the Past where it's storming, you have to escort Zelda. You always get one item no matter what. Oh, Ice Rod. Okay. No one else grabbed Ice Rod that got Kane so far. But anyway, sorry, I'm completely brain fried there. But you learn to do stuff like this because Kane's Samara is considered a weapon. Bombs, all of Aussie's bomb strats are things you learn from playing Link to the Past Standard. All that good stuff. So, yeah. You know, V31 comes out today. I'm definitely going to be playing some of that later on. Did Neorific forget the spoiler log?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Like, if you know there's like one item in a room that you're looking for, you sometimes might just clear it. It's also possible he might have just confused one location for another, because sometimes the names that are used in the spoiler log are not always like the same names that the community tends to use. So you may wind up just misreading it.
Alright, so Iris gets her save point as Neorific farms some Peebs.
So something's got to be at grapple. Just a heart container. I mean,
he could have also used that to get more momentum to get the hook shot.
Yeah, so that was what he was really after, and he just wanted to also pick up the heart container just because it only cost him like 10 seconds to pick up that heart container, and although it is possible to beat the game on 3 hearts, even he may want at least something. Now he's consulting the spoiler log and decides there's nothing else in Croc's area that he wants. Or not. There is something else he wants.
Nope. Forgot what that was. Oh,
Yeah,
there's Mir. By the way, Iris finds Mir in the brewery. So we found Hookshot and Mir were flippers away from being able to go into Swamp Palace.
So yeah, I'm suspecting Aussie misread the spoiler for something, which is why he was hesitating there.
Green Pendant is Skull Woods today, not Swamp Palace. Swamp Palace is Rig Crystal. Oh, hey, Fire Rod, how you doing?
So it is interesting how, like, despite the fact that this is a spoiler race and everyone knows where everything is, we still have a lot of divergence in how our runners are choosing to clear this seed.
Now, mind you, these runners, if Iris finds, like, I don't know, flippers from Blacksmith, Asa will have to be doing that later on while she goes through her Norfair checks.
So Aussie and Bubble Mountain.
Well, it's not Blacksmith. It must be Purple Chest that has something today.
I'm surprised Aussie went all the way down to that to the Bubble Mountain missile location, because he could even see on screen it was just bomb capacity, and then he decided ultimately not to pick it up. Something is clearly in the purple chest.
Well, we
and
find
there's
Quake. Quake gets us into both TR and Misery Miner. There's some Hell Run protection there with that E-Tank. We're up to 4 E-Tanks. Aussie might not grab any more or go off his way for it anymore now. Flippers and Purple Chest. That's all Swamp Palace right there.
Yeah, but Iris is still going to head up to Death Mountain anyways. So there must not be something she immediately wants in Swamp.
Well, she doesn't have Hookshot because she has to go into Death Mountain, into Norfair, and to Croc. Oh, Angels did not pick up a Power Bomb pack. All right. Aussie left said hi to Iris as Iris went in.
So Aussie is going to head to East Death Mountain. And there's a lot of item locations that are open in that area, so looks like there's something in Paradox Cave.
Iris is going to fight her Croc fight now.
So there's the lamp in Paradox, which is not strictly required, but certainly convenient. Although I pretty much know that Aussie could do this whole seed without the lamp with his skill level, but yeah, I miss if there was anything else he picked up there.
Looks like he wants to go ahead and do Pod first. I would have grabbed Mir and just did the Pod Eastern duo right there. Just get them both out of the way for 2 quick crystals, but He's going to go ahead and do pod now.
Oh, Iris has had no ammo left and decided to just take a death there rather than try to farm ammo off a Croc, which is understandable. Like, farming ammo off a Croc is awful because I know I've been in that situation a couple of times and it can be very annoying. So yeah, Iris just ran out of ammo. You can farm missiles off of Croc's fireballs, but if you're low health, he's going to drop a lot of health drops, and you just kind of have to wait until you get missiles, and it's really annoying. So I cannot blame her for just resetting there and giving it another shot. So Aussie is in pod. Yeah, just gonna pick up a key and probably just gonna pick up as many keys as he needs just to get through to the back. And then presumably there's an item he wants in the back, or he just wants to complete this dungeon.
Neorific finally got around to his screw attack. Iris is going to try Croc again. But yeah, no, as people point out, Angels is new to this community. Wish him all the luck. It takes a lot of courage to be restreamed like this on a network like Speed Gaming. If you guys want to learn how to play this game, just join the SMZ3 Discord. We have a whole bunch of people. I mean, whenever I was learning Super Metroid, Link here sat in my streams just literally just told me what I need to do to learn all these awesome tricks, and I've slowly gotten my time from like 6 hours to I think my best time's now 3.5. So, like, our community is very welcoming. We all want to help you out. We have community, seeds where people play them together basically and help each other out. There's questions. There's a lot of stuff that we do as a community, but don't get too hard on some runners that they're a little bit behind. They're still showing off that they know their stuff. Like Angels did the parlor speed booster without short charge. That's massive. Like, and I'm sure once he gets himself the power bomb pack, he's going to be able to start speeding through the sea.
So he picks himself up Pegasus boots after doing the hammer yelp, and then picks up the map. So you sometimes just don't have like all of the spoiler completely in your head. So I imagine he's looking for one more key so he can get through Harmless Hellway and still have a key to get to the boss.
Iris does complete Croc, the Revenge.
And with big key and small key, Aussie is now able to make it to Helmasaur King.
Neorific did not get the quick kill on Cray, but does finish off Cray. First of the first of his Super Metroid bosses, I'm going to say overall, but then I forgot Aussie had that amazing fight against Phantoon.
Yeah, Neorific going into the Varia room, but then decides not to pick up those missiles. that can just be a muscle memory thing. You're so used to just always going into that room afterwards that it can sometimes just it just becomes muscle memory, and even if you know you don't want to head into that room, you still do, just because you're so used to doing that. Also, you tend to sometimes just have imperfect memory of what the spoiler log is, so it's oftentimes you just forget. Iris taking a few tries at the Kekumanchoyu gate. So Aussie's off to Helmasaur King. Angels is entering into Pod. And Iris also looks to be heading into Pod. So with that, Aussie's taken down his first Link to the Past boss. Nitorific is making the croc play. And it looks like all of our runners are basically starting to converge after a lot of the divergence we saw earlier.
So Nitorific's going to go get his hook shot here in just a second. When Iris and Angels get through their pods, they'll have boots. So he's going to Dark World, probably pick up his mirror.
So Aussie gonna check C House. And just for a heart container.
I mean, right now, green mail, 6 hearts. You still die if Ganon hugs you.
Yeah. And it's just a question of how many of these safeties do you choose to pick up. I think one thing that Aussie knows is that he just has such a huge skill advantage that he is just going to that he has time to maybe go for some extra safeties and still be well ahead.
Iris
Angels
grabbing powder.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say Angels and Iris were like perfectly synced there, picking up powder at the same time. Angels picking up all of the rupees here. May just want them for potions later, or there might be a item that he wants there, or at like Zor or something. Yeah, and looks like I missed a Stutter 3 by Nitorific. which, yeah, is not easy to do. It takes a really large amount of practice to be able to do that consistently.
New Iris takes a death in the Dark Maze. Very unfortunate. Even with Blue Mail 4 hearts, it's still not a fun thing to try and do. And Angels just took his death as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, those fireballs, I think even with Blue Mail, still do something like a heart of damage, and especially when you're in the dark, it becomes like it's just really difficult to, because you don't always know where the fireballs are going to be shooting from, and yeah, like as far as just general movement in there, that dark room isn't too bad, but you add in the fireballs from the Kodongos, it can, and especially if you get lost in that room, it can become very awkward very quickly. And Iris just choosing to kill 2 of the Kodongos with the spin attack just to not have to deal with that.
Neo hell runs for his Quake, and we'll get his E-Tank for a refill.
Aussie dipping the pendant, pendant desert just to get cape.
Could be nice for some cape strats later on against like Ganon or Victorious.
Yeah. And or could signal, although I think it's unlikely at this point, could signal an item on bumper ledge. There's clearly something on checkerboard cave that Aussie wants, though. And it's a fairy in a bottle. So that could be just for safety, but the fact that he's fluting away makes me think maybe Sick Kid has an item. But no, he's not going right to Kakariko, so it was likely just a safety item.
Looks like Aussie's going to Hera right now.
Angels takes another death.
He's going to Spike Cave for a nice little upgrade.
Okay, yeah, I'm being told that Angel's last death was just a death warp. And Nidorific picking up the lamp. And I think from the trouble that a couple of the runners have had with the dark rooms in pod, that lamp pickup might just be worth it just to avoid having to deal with the dark rooms. Yeah, Iris getting through the turtle room in the basement of pod, which is one of the most annoying rooms in that dungeon, and maybe even in the game. Just there's a strat for dealing with it, but if you don't have, or yeah, I guess Iris did have Master Sword, but even then, if you kind of mess up the strat even slightly, then those turtles can just go all over the place and be really difficult to deal with.
And it also helps if you know where the torches are. One of the nicest parts about that room is there are torches you can fire rod real fast to make things easier. Aussie is going through Thieves Town. Iris gets her Helmets Arcane kill. Neorific is going up Super Bunny Cave right now. Aussie finding that one really good pixel to dash through that room in. As I was saying, there's that torch. Angels found it. Ooh, got a little unlucky there with the turtles. Turtles still like to troll even when that's not the case. Iris using the mirror to go straight into Eastern. I did not see what was in the first chest of Hookshot Cave. Oh, it was more hearts. That was the Health Cave.
Yeah, and Neorific not bothering with the last chest there, so knows that it was nothing that he wanted.
It was probably not healthy. Come on, that was funny. Okay. Angels is made to his Helmets Arcane fight. Iris is going through Eastern. Neorific is going to get his Master Sword. Link has died.
Angels gets through the first phase of Helmasaur King.
Oh no! You got tailed. Oh, that's painful. No one ever pays attention to the tail until it kills him. Then you never stop looking at the tail.
Yeah, and what's really unfortunate too is because Angels has been just like taking the minimum number of keys that he needs. He doesn't have the key to open the center door, so he has to keep going around through this bow-locked side, which costs extra time for each death.
Asa gets a nice quick Thief Sound kill.
Iris also showing off the torches in the Eastern Dark Room, making that significantly easier.
Asa is running towards either Skull Woods or Bumper Ledge. Alright, so there was something on Bumper. And it's a Tempered Sword, okay.
Yeah, Tempered like speeds up so much that it's almost always worth going for, even if it's going to take you a bit of time to get it. It will picking it up will more than make up for the time that Aussie is spending right now. Like, it saves probably a good minute and a half to 2 minutes on Ganon alone, because otherwise you can only damage Ganon with spin attacks.
Angels again trolled by the mini turtles again. He kills the last one as the room goes dark. Like a bit of a swag, and now he can't find the torch to light it back up again. Oh, I thought you killed the last one. My bad.
Yeah, that can be really frustrating when there's like one turtle alive and the lights go out, especially if you're not expecting it.
Looks like Goss is going to Swamp Palace now. I know what item's in Swamp Palace, but what do you think is in Swamp Palace?
I maybe take a guess at Varia.
Did you look at the spoiler log?
I have not looked at the spoiler log, so if I am right, it is by pure coincidence.
Our tracker pointed out how awesome Iris just did that spike cave at 4 hearts, no half magic, getting through that by the skin of her teeth right there. Wait, did Angels? No, Angels! No! That's unfortunate. Yeah, so after that second death, Angels did forfeited. Don't forget to give him a follow. He did put on a good show. He's new to the combo, so don't be mean to him. He's still put on a good show. Showed us that he can do some decent stuff. But yeah, that's unfortunate right there.
Yeah, and like oftentimes if you're doing these fights on less equipment than you're used to, it can definitely yeah, sometimes it's just you wind up with one fight that's just winds up being more difficult than you expect it to, and yeah, especially if it's something that bottlenecks you in the seed, then yeah, it can be very unfortunate and sometimes can just tilt you a little bit.
And the thing is, Pod is a very difficult. Well, not a difficult dungeon. It's a long dungeon to get to the boss. And if you die to the boss, you have to take that time again and get back to the boss. If you die twice to the boss, at one point, it just is not worth it. So Aussie is going to go to left side Swamp House.
Yeah, so yeah, so yeah, there's clearly something here that he wants. And Iris is following close behind. Nidorific is following the Smith chain. And there we go. There's the Varia suit.
Okay, so now
I swear I did not
Gravity?
look at. Yeah, I swear I did not look at the spoiler log before this.
So the question is, where's Gravity?
Yeah, I mean, like, just based on the fact that Iris like went out of her way to pick up Ice Rod, I'm going to make a guess of either behind Trinex or on Ped.
Well, if see, Neorific and all 4 runners have gotten that cane. Iris was the only one who grabbed Ice Rod. Yeah, we're trying to point out that this is a logical double dip of Swamp that all of our runners avoided by Hell Running for Croc. And with that Temper Sword, this fight against Argus is a lot easier. Because one Temper Slash does kill these puffs.
Yeah, it is possible to hold the spin attack and then just like keep hitting the puffs over and over, but it's definitely way easier with tempered. And today Argus is just guarding the map. So Iris is heading right towards the Varia suit. Nidorific finally making his way into pod. And Aussie heading into Ice Palace.
I mean, if Aussie doesn't need, if Aussie knows what charge is, and he doesn't need gravity to get through Meridia, and it ain't normal seed, he will be in go mode right now.
Yeah, because the only other dungeons he needs to do are Hera and Meyer. And yeah, Icy is currently in. So Iris heading into her Argus fight. Aussie misses the Ice Palace bomb jump on the first attempt, but I'm sure he'll get it. Yeah, he's lined up now. So second first try. Iris choosing just to slash each of the puffs twice. And Argus is down on Iris's screen. Nidorific picking up his powder. So Aussie is now on to Cold Stare. This should be a really quick fight with Tempered Sword. And Aussie just gets those puffs all in the corner and shows off the quick Cold Stare kill.
So Iris with Varia is now going back into Norfair, probably to go pick up Quake, and I think that's it for Norfair.
Yeah, she might choose to also just go down to Lower Norfair and take care of Ridley at the same time. I think she has everything well, besides Quake, has everything she needs from Meyer right now.
Speaking of Meyer, I think that's where Aussie's going to right now.
And there's Ice Beam for Iris at one of the more annoying locations without gravity. It's definitely doable, but it's certainly annoying.
So Neo's about ready to do his Powers of Darkness, and we'll probably mirror over to Eastern. Honestly, he's about ready to go get his 5th crystal.
Yeah, unfortunately, Angels took a couple of deaths to Helmasaur King, and then forfeited the race. Yeah. Neorific successfully taking down Helmasaur King. Aussie finding the big key to Misery Mire in the switch chest.
Going towards nope, he just want to hit the switch and get out.
Yeah, probably hitting the switch just to make the basement slightly faster. Looks like Aussie's setting up to powder one of the anti-fairies. I'll usually just go for powdering one of the bunny beams that's underneath the bottom pots in that room, because I think it's a little bit easier because
They're stationary. They don't bounce around, and the powder hitbox is actually really small. So, we got 3 dungeons going on. Iris is going to finish off Ice Palace. Neorific is running through Eastern. Honestly, it's almost a victory is. With Silver Arrows, it's easy.
Yeah, he's probably going to just do the standard NMG strat. Might just use cape. Sword spins. Or he is going to just use silvers. Which is probably safer given that he doesn't have as many hearts as you would have at this point in NMG. But Aussie does still get a 1 cycle with the silvers, which is honestly pretty impressive. Iris having a little bit of difficulty with the bomb jump, just getting herself lined up on the right pixel. The bomb jump is a fairly precise trick.
But it's also one of the tricks, like, once you get down once, it's usually easy every single time because it's the same setup every single time.
Yeah.
Like, Lincoln attests, I tried for like 30 minutes one day. I finally got, I'm so proud of myself. Anyway. You were saying something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's one of those tricks that takes a bit of practice. Once you get it down, it usually is fine, but sometimes it can troll you a bit, like happened to Iris.
Now it looks like Aussie's going to be saving Tower Hera for last for the Tower Hera straight to Ganon tower play.
Yeah, it was kind of unfortunate there that Aussie didn't have sword beams, because with sword beams, that room in Eastern can be done really quickly because you just get into the right position and then 2 sword slashes to the left, 2 sword slashes to the right, or it's other way around, but basically, yeah. But still managed to take care of that room really quickly anyways.
Iris is on Cold Stare.
But this is actually going to be a significantly longer fight for Iris, because Iris only has Master Sword for this fight.
Master Sword 5 hearts. Those ice cubes still do a lot of damage, and she cannot be touched by those puffs. Like, if the boss itself touches her, it is no-no.
Yeah, I think she could have survived hitting the puffs until she got hit by the ice, and now I think it would be a one-hit KO. Nidorific entering Mire.
Okay, 1 puff is down. 2 puffs is down.
Yeah, now the fight's significantly easier because Iris only has to worry about the 1
3
puff.
puff. Left stomp. Oh, wait, what? It looks like Odyssey is moving up towards Hera. He might go ahead and finish this seed now. We'll see if he takes a pit stop to go pick up his gravity suit.
Yeah, I mean, Aussie still has 3 Super Metroid bosses to defeat. So, actually, like, all of our runners have either 3 or 4 Super Metroid bosses to defeat. Super Metro, like, all of our runners have just, like, backloaded a lot of the Super Metroid stuff, but they can easily just, like, basically go mode all of them.
Speaking of the blue boomerang, some arrows. Probably didn't remember what was in there. Was hoping for more ammo.
Yeah. Our runners can consult the spoiler log whenever they want, but sometimes it's just faster to go ahead and open the chest than to go and try to look up what was actually in that location.
Oh, Aussie decided he did not want the E-Tank. He just wanted the 2 heart containers to get out. Okay. Okay, it does look like Aussie is going to go for the 1 item I have hinted at a few times.
Yeah. So yeah, Iris, meanwhile, just going through Thieves Town. That should be a fairly quick clear. And Nidorific almost to Vitreous. Iris is getting kind of trolled by those Patrick Star enemies, but makes it through just fine. And with Blue Mail, the grasshoppers in the attic are not nearly as much of a threat as they are with Green Mail. So, whatever item Aussie is looking for, it's fairly deep in Turtle Rock, it looks like, with Aussie picking up 2 keys. And Aussie decides he does not need whatever is in the chain shop chest, which is very nice when you can just skip that chest. It is an extremely annoying one to have to pick up, especially if you're on very low health.
So Neorific goes ahead and grabs the cape. We know that's going to be for his tempered sword later on. And Iris is going to go ahead and do some cane strats on. Oh, by the way, there's gravity. On blind. That's right. Pendant vanilla big key chest and Turtle Rock vanilla big key chest for our suits today, people.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. A little disappointing we don't get to see any suitless Meridia action today, but at the same time, Aussie probably knows how ahead he is and that he can just afford to take the time to pick up gravity.
Alright. So, since Hera is a super quick dungeon, even made quicker with a recently found strat that Aussie's not using, has the SMZ3 community decided if it's legal or not? The Hera pot?
I haven't seen any like official decision from them. I think in general SMZ3 has been a little more relaxed about things, about these kind of
Aussie's just explaining. Never mind, Hera pot sucks. That's Aussie points out chat. Oh my goodness. Hera pot's a new strat where you fall into you bomb jump into one of the pots on the beginning area of Hera, and it teleports you into the room that Aussie's walking into right now. Anyway, since he's on the boss now, let's go ahead and in chat, we need to find the big key. The big key is in one of several rooms in Gan's Tower. Please guess which room the Gan's Tower big key is now. It's not chest number. No. It's the room. You don't guess numbers. It's guys. We are conducting a professional random commentary here. This is no key sanity. Gan's Tower big keys on Turtle Rock Laser Bridge. Aussie, you need to turn around. Yeah, so it's not the torch room, by the way. But there's something nice on torch, though. It's plasma beam.
Iris, meanwhile, making her way through Mire. Neorific making his way through Ice Palace. And clearly there is nothing in the skeleton slash dark magician rooms, as Aussie has just completely skipped it.
Oh, that was a neat boomerang trick right there. As it gets trolled by the teleporter.
Yeah, I think he was intending to use the iframes from having the block come up to just run through it, but it didn't wind up quite working for him the way he wanted.
Since we're going towards random room, I wonder what's in here. Missiles, power bombs, the big key, plus $50.
I swear I have not looked at the spoiler log, and all my guesses have basically been, for the most part, right.
Link, you are the spoiler log. Dun dun dun! And again, he dies. Alright, we're going through the gauntlet now. Neorific's on Victorious. Cold Stare. Iris is going to be on Victorious here in one room. By the way, these runners I put on a great show. Go ahead and give them all a follow. Even Angels. Like Angels, it was unfortunate he couldn't get past Helmet Star, but he still put on a good show. He was brave enough to hang out with us today. Don't forget to give everyone at Speed Gaming some love. All of our staff, all of our multiple channels. Don't forget to say hi to Number Play over in the French channel. Am I missing anyone?
Yeah, and go give Kachiri a follow as well while you're at.
Oh man, promoting me? How sweet. Oh, the mail upgrades. Let me go tell them real fast. Powerbomb and Pink Brinstar, so the Mission Impossible, and then Cathedral and Norfair had the other mail.
Iris got dead rocked. Is now has.
No, Blue wasn't in Red Tower. That was Screw Attack. You're not dumb, mind.
Aussie to the torch rooms in Upper Ganon's Tower.
Is Iris going to go ahead and get her gravity, or is she going to just use Meridia?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember Iris picking up grapple, so I feel like Iris is most likely just going for gravity suit. Also, just picking up some more SM ammo. And none of our runners have picked up charge yet.
So, want to take a guess what was on pedestal?
I mean, we were just talking about charge. I'm just gonna say missile, because...
Oh, Aussie, are you doing your bomb jump again? Aussie's doing his bomb jump again. Evoli got right in chat. It was 20 rupees. Is there a spot that anyone wants to know where an iron was at? Professor Angels, a little bit newer to the randomizer. Had a little bit of a mishap trying to get pass a low percent Helmassar, and after a couple deaths to low percent Helmassar, he decided to FF.
Alright, Aussie, after unfortunately failing the bomb jump, decided instead to just kill Moldorm 2.
So he's on to his Aga 2.
And gets a nice triple there.
Very nice. Eurific gets the Varia. Iris has her gravities and will be doing her hero play. Dunge behind Aussie right now. Aussie's going to go ahead and do his Ganon fight.
Yeah, having cape, having tempered sword, like this shouldn't be a problem, but he does also only he already took an unfortunate hit. I think he still has that fairy in a bottle, so he does have that as a backup, but probably does not want to get hit again.
Question in chat, you can finish both games however you want to. Most runners choose to do Zelda first. But in the game's logic, when placing items in the seed, the game actually has like a soft requirement of Mother Brain being beaten before getting south.
Yeah, and that's just implemented so that no Super Metroid progression can be found in Ganon's Tower, because otherwise you'd have a lot of seeds with like Morph Ball in Ganon's Tower, and it would basically wind up being a Link to the Past rando seed followed by a Super Metroid rando seed, which is not nearly as interesting. So they tried to design the logic in such a way to try to force both games.
Aussie in chat. Oh, I almost forgot I saw Craig to do. Alright, now on phase 4 again, just 4 arrows after a slash, he's 2 in. Does he get a double here? He gets the double here. Get your single G's in chat for Aussie. Man, just think if Aussie didn't have minded me as a tracker showing that he has not done Kraid yet, he might have gone to G4 without killing Kraid. That's how awesome minded me is. Don't forget to show some love. All right.
Yeah. I mean, that has not been the first time that kind of thing has happened in SM. I think Farrell has a clip of him forgetting to kill Kraid in an RBO run. Aussie is going to head right towards the Meridia portal, which is going to take him right in front of Dragon.
And I mean, if he chooses to route, can like drop down Sandpit right in front of Kraid and don't have to worry about it. Good thing he's already beaten Ganon because he's using his fairy right now.
Yeah. Aussie.
As he says in chat.
Aussie slightly spoiling that in chat, but we'll give him a pass on that one.
Aussie, you're like 50 seconds ahead of Twitch chat, man. We get you're an awesome third commentator.
Okay, Iris is slightly behind, or coming into Ganon's tower. Is actually going to go into the Dark Magician room.
Still 5 hearts. I'm surprised Iris did not go out and get more hearts. I mean, this room by itself just knocked half her health off.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
that is
doable.
Yeah, and I mean at a certain point, just like picking up heart containers actually does make you slightly faster, because then you can maybe just choose to tank an enemy rather than having to like worry about going around it. Okay, looks like Aussie did indeed pick up grapple beam to just do the grapple quick kill on Dragon.
I mean, it's faster than where charge is. I mean, Ossie's probably going to pick up charge on his way out, but I mean, it would have been faster doing that than to do get charge and X-ray.
Yeah, I mean, he still had enough. If he still had plenty of options. Like he also had speed booster, but I mean, the speed booster kill can be a little risky if you get chain damaged. The chain damage is avoidable if you know what you're doing, but it's still a risk that you might not want to take.
Ooh, I think Neorific might be walking into a key trap. So, in the spoiler log, it does say like big key chess. We'll see if. Okay, he is going to the right chest. Sometimes runners will go to the big chest thinking that's the chest in the spoiler log, instead of actually going to the big key chest where the gravity is. Oh, Iris moving towards. Was that just. No, she's going all the way to Armos. Okay. Wait, there's Charge Beam.
Yeah, so that is like actual go mode for Aussie. If we were gonna track that, but this being a spoiler race, like
They was in go mode
Aussie
from the
was,
start.
yeah.
Oh, Iris wanted that sword instead of Bumper Cave sword.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, because I wonder if just it's possible that Iris might have just seen the other sword on Bumper Cave and just decided she didn't want to go for it. Even if I think ultimately going for that Bumper Cave sword was the faster option, but sometimes you don't always see those things when you're looking at the spoiler.
I mean, you had to dip Pendant Desert to get Cape. I mean, probably the same amount of time.
Yeah, but meanwhile, Aussie like was able to have that tempered sword for most of the seed, whereas Iris is only going to really have it for Upper Ganon's Tower and Ganon. So I think, yeah, I think it ultimately, because of that, I think it does make it like the better decision to go for the one that was on Bumper to Ledge. But I mean, it's still just as valid. It just to go for that one. Just again, you only have 25 minutes to go through the entire spoiler, plan your route out, and oftentimes, even though you're even then you're still doing a little bit on the fly because there's just so much you have to go through in those 25 minutes.
So he does get the Craig quick kill. Iris is doing the gauntlet with 5 hearts. I am not a fan of this. This is going to stress me out the whole time she's going up this. Don't forget to give her mad props once she does complete this, because, you know, this is something that I will not do.
Iris just using Quake to quickly take care of the enemies in that room, which, yeah. When you have that low hearts, you kind of need to just use every little safety you can get.
Okay, Aussie is flew over to Lower Norfair now. Yeah, we don't even get to see Lower Norfair for that much. We didn't even get to see Meridia, really. Norrex ship. Man, was there even Super Metroid in this seed?
I mean, yeah, there just wasn't very much progression in Super Metroid, so which is why like none of our runners really cleared that many bosses.
Aussie already telling us he's just going to do the regular Norfair escape. We'll see if he decides to go off his way to pick up ice for Mother Brain, or if he's just going to go ahead and do charge wave plasma. I do believe we have another Super Metroid Rando race later on today. I think this. I think I remember hearing that from Tracy. She was saying that earlier. I think they're going to do this every Sunday on their end, 1 and 7 o'clock.
Yeah, where one of them is going to be an open community race, and then one of them is going to be a league match, I believe is what the plan is.
Ossie's like, he's not getting ice cream. So look forward to that league match. I do believe since V31 is coming out a little bit later on today, I do believe the next Link to the Past tournament is going to enter their planning phase, or if they've already done their planning phase. So hopefully we'll get more information about that here soon. V31 adds a lot, including progressive bows. I'm actually really interested in progressive bows. Basically, instead of having silvers be separate from bow, if you find a bow, you get regular wooden arrows. You find a second bow, you get silver arrows. So that's going to make it to where you will find bow early. There's also going to be new modes for newer players, including logics to where there's going to be like a heart requirement for logical access to some Dark World dungeons. So like if you don't have as many hearts for a dungeon, you don't need to go in there for your next piece of progression. They're also going to do logic to where so right now there's two ways. Heart and sword requirements. So like Timber Sword would be logical for Trinex. By the way, Iris completed the Gauntlet run with 5 hearts, going into Ganon now with 5 hearts. Get some hyper effort. Anyway, other stuff like Bumper Ledge, where now we also can require Hookshot if you choose to have that as an option. What is that option called? Obscure location prevention. So right now, Hookshot Cave can actually have Hookshot in the bottom chest. So that actually is corrected. Like that is no longer a thing you do. Obscure location. Minor glitches can now be put into logic. So fake flippers, dark rooms. They're going to do an overhaul, according to the patch notes that is out there. They're going to do over glitches, logic overhaul, retro overhaul, and inverter overhaul here soon. That's probably going to be still part of V31, but we get the main part like today sometime. But yeah, get hyped. As Iris is now on the final phase again, and 1 heart, no bottles, which means Oh, no torch glitch either. Iris has to be very careful. Do not get hit with a fireball. Oh, got the... Oh, so close! Alright, one more hit. Has to dodge the fire bat. Don't dash off the ledge. Iris, you're making me nervous. Get your GG's in chat for Iris. 5-heart Ganon!
Yeah, that is really impressive.
Now, if that doesn't deserve a follow right there, I don't know what does.
Yeah, Iris choosing to pick up the energy tank that is on the pyramid before heading back into Super Metroid. I'm not sure how many E-tanks that puts her at.
Nerif is about ready to get to his Aga fight with his 10 hearts. As he does go pick up Ice Beam.
Neorific also just completed Aga 2. Iris heading up to Dragon.
We'll likely see Iris follow a similar path Aussie did. Dragon to Kraid to Ridley. Aussie is going to go back to Hyrule, save and quit, and then do his Mother Brain.
Yeah. Iris and Neorific still have to do Phantoon as well.
Phantoon would probably be her last boss before Mother Brain. Just run over, then turn around, run back.
Yeah, because there's nothing else that either Iris or Neorific would need there. Aussie with a really nice speed ball. And Aussie heading into Torian. Having remembered to kill all the bosses, including Kraid. Iris trying to do a Shine Spark kill onto Dragon.
Neorific gets the kill on Ganon. Get your G's in chat for Neo.
Yeah, I think Iris is now just going to use ammo. We'll see if Iris chooses to do... Yeah, I think Iris at this point is just choosing to use ammo for the rest of the fight. Yeah, and because Dragon was already basically dead. Iris choosing to pick up the drops before leaving, because Iris had 0 supers at that point. And if she had left without any supers, she would have been stuck at the gate, leaving Meridia having to farm supers. Aussie is setting up for baby skip. And gets it.
One skip down. There's a couple more skips left to go.
Neaterific remembering to turn his plasma beam on because it does not turn on automatically if you pick it up in Link to the Past.
I don't think Iris did that.
Yeah, I feel like once Iris picks up charge, she will remember to do that. Because for now, it doesn't really do a whole lot. But definitely by Lower Norfair, because Plasma's just too useful in Lower Norfair to not turn it on.
She's on phase 2 of Mother Brain with the full beam combo. It's 20 charge shots to Ugly's face, and we'll be all good to go.
And Neaterific with an unfortunate goop spark in the Dragon fight. Just going to do a grapple kill, because Neaterific also picked up grapple. And Aussie done with Mother Brain 2. He didn't pick up enough E-Tanks to do stand-up, so he's just going to sit through this cutscene. Now, okay, Iris still has to do Kraid. So none of our runners forgetting to do Kraid today.
Nia's going to be going and grab his charge beam.
Yeah, so at this point, Neaterific is the only one with enough E-Tanks to do stand-up.
Aussie pointed out that he would have forgotten. You're welcome, Aussie. Don't forget to thank your tracker as well. Iris, I think the charge beam is enough to... No, Kraid needs one more hit after the charge beam, but still.
Yeah.
Wait, can you X-ray Kraid?
Yeah, no, you can't X-ray Kraid, and the one thing that Iris needs to be careful about, which the way she did it was not going to happen, but if you do like missile and then charge shot or something like that, you can get Kraid into a zombie Kraid state where it is possible to soft lock in that fight. So that's one kind of dangerous thing that can happen if you do the fight incorrectly with Plasma, because the game doesn't register at that point that Kraid is at 0 health.
Nope, all else he has to do is escape, and he'll be our first finisher tonight.
So Iris gonna head right to Lower Norfair. I didn't check how many supers she has, but although she has the full beam combo at this point, so her supers may not be that much of a concern, but that unfortunate hit that she took, she's gonna have to head back up there. So Iris is again going to try to get to Lower Norfair.
Nas is going to be finishing up here. And he's going to finish first out of our 4 runners today with a time of 1:45.10. Get your GGs in the chat for Aussie. Did a good show. Sub 2 hour time for a spoil seed. Not bad. Ooh, Iris and Neorific are actually now tied. Same amount of boss kills. Going towards Ridley. We got ourselves a race between these two.
Yeah, both of them doing fast pillars. Neorific having a slight lead from doing the fast pillars at the very beginning of the room.
GG, Aussie. Right. Well,
GG Aussie.
Aussie.
GG's.
So, how did the planning go for this spoil seed? Was there something you weren't looking forward to, or like what was your thought process as you was looking through the spoiler like today?
Well, it felt like this time I had more time than usual, because I had enough time to plan out a lot of the route. I did mismark a sword, so that was fun to find in the log where I made a mistake.
Was there any particular reason why you went straight for pod first before getting mirror and then just doing the boots? That was more I don't know. I one thing is I was wondering why what you didn't do was the pod Eastern play, but
so getting back to Eastern's pretty fast from the flute point. You just take the stairs. But you might be right. The original plan was to go to Thieves and finish that off, and then not really go back to the area. But I skipped Thieves instead, so I could route in the bumper ledge sword. So I probably could have gotten mirror and fire rod, and maybe a skipped lamp, and then did pod Eastern. Yeah, that wasn't perfect.
that was all good. You still finished first. That's all that matters. Our tractor was wondering, did Suitless Meridia ever cross your mind? As we have mirrored Ridley fights right now, it's actually kind of hype.
So I didn't really want to do Suitless Meridia because I had to go down a sand pit and go all the way down through Meridia.
Oh, those
a little
sync
slow.
Ridley kills. Sorry. They both Iris and Nero just killed Ridley at the same time, so now they just have Phantoon and Mother Brain left for both of them. Anyway.
Yep, they're really close. But no, I wasn't really planning on skipping a suit at any point. Going into Turtle Rock wasn't that long. But I did have the high jump, grapple, and spring ball, in case I ever did decide to do that.
Yeah, because I noticed that fairly, when you got the high jump and was wondering if that was going to be a play you were going to make, but with where Charge Beam was, it made sense to go get Gravity.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think
High jump is just a good item. Spring ball, I got it just because I like spring ball. I didn't really make use of it. And
Yeah.
you're asking about grapple. I got grapple because it was next to a knee tank. And I wanted that E-tank for my hell runs. to Quake.
Neorific was trying to blue ball. That allowed Iris to catch up to him. Iris is going for a safety save. I think Iris is going to reverse Amphitheater. Is there anything you would have done differently this seed, or do you wish this seed was a blind seed?
I think I would have done the earlier mirror and fire rod play. The Burna timing could have been better. But, so I got the bottle originally for Spike Cave sword, and I could have paired that with the cape instead of Burna. So I don't know the actual best way to do that because I had kind of low hearts. But I did like my sword pickups, my sword choices. I like how I played it, for the most part.
Yeah, I think
Well-
like out of the three, or out of the where the swords were, yeah, I think it made a lot of sense to go for those. Iris had gone for the sword that was behind Armos Knights, which meant that she didn't have this tempered sword for all of the dungeons.
Alright, looks like because Iris did not get the green gate glitch, Neorific has actually taken a bit of a lead right now. So it's all going to come down to Phantoon and Mother Brain execution between these two runners. Other than that, if you have nothing else to say, Aussie, I think we're going to go ahead and call the rest of this close finish here. Don't forget to give Aussie a follow. He is one of the best players in Super Metroid and SMZ3 and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I was just gonna watch the restream after and see how the routes work differently. But yeah, thanks to Mind of Me in particular for keeping me on track, as well as Kachiri and Link for commentating.
Anytime. Have a good day, Aussie. Yeah, so Iris is going to be about a minute behind Neorific right now. So oh no! Space jump didn't space jump!
Yeah, space jump can sometimes be annoying with the timing. If you miss it, then you just like go rocketing back to the bottom of the room. And Iris,
Missiles.
oh, Iris realized she didn't have a super. That's what happened. So she had to go back to farm supers off the Cacatax to shoot this gate. So that was an intentional fall. But that also gives Neorific even more of a lead.
He's on his final boss right now before Mother Brain. Iris just got her save and quit off.
Yeah, which just goes to show how important as a resource management in Super Metroid is. Like, it's one of those things that oftentimes you don't really think about in your routing, but like you need to. But it's something you do. You need to think about like where are you going to get that super you need for the gate up ahead. Iris does have the full microwave beam though, so Iris will be able to use that on Phantoon to get a one-round Phantoon.
But Neorific's Phantoons are already getting kind of pink.
Yeah, but Neorific unfortunately getting slow patterns from Phantoon, and there's nothing he can really do about that. And also missed the eye open there, and it looks like getting trolled with a slow reappear.
Ooh. So Neorific now just has Mother Brain to do as Iris enters Rex ship.
Yeah. Iris may be able to catch up a little bit if she's able to do a one-round Phantoon with Microwave Beam. It's a little more difficult than the Dragon one in that you just have to shoot Phantoon with a missile first, and then you're able to do the microwave, because otherwise Phantoon will just close his eye immediately after he gets hit.
And she got it. Very nice.
Yeah, so Iris gaining a little bit of time with that, but I think is still at least a minute, if not like a minute and a half or 2 minutes behind.
Yeah, here's the thing though, Neorific has stand-up glitchy tanks. That could be the decider right there.
Yeah, I mean, stand-up glitch doesn't save a huge amount of time, but it is certainly going to be a factor in this. Iris choosing to do a Shine Spark across the ocean. I think the Shine Spark is technically slower than an optimal, like, full speed space jump across, but it's not by that much. By pretty much just the crash animation time of the Shine Spark. And the Shine Spark looks cooler. At least in my opinion. So Iris just entering G4 now. So it's actually caught up by a pretty decent amount.
So this also will come down to if these runners can get their Zep skips, their baby skips, and how well they execute Mother Brain.
Iris getting grabbed by one of the Metroids and chooses just to power bomb them, which 3 power bombs will kill the Metroids, but then they only give 1 drop. One of them didn't get double hit. When you power bomb the Metroids, they only drop a single drop, and power bombing them is also significantly slower. Nitorific missing the baby skip, either that or just not doing it. I wasn't paying attention to Nitorific's screen right there. That's actually a good point. I'm not sure if Nitorific got Wave Beam. No, Nitorific definitely got Wave Beam. I can see the Wave Beam shots there.
All right. Iris turns off Varia just in case she doesn't get baby skip.
That may just be preemptive, though, of just choosing not to do it, but we'll see. No, it looks like Iris is setting up for it.
Neorific is now on to Mother Brain. She's going to try and get the speed booster Zep Skip. As
Yeah.
Iris gets one jump over the baby. Oh, doesn't quite get it. Neorific has decided not to do any Zep Skips. He's going to go for it.
Yeah. Also, it looked like Neorific there to set up for that, for his attempt at the speed booster Zeb Skip was doing a morph turnaround there, where if you morph, you can, and you just literally tap the D-pad, you can do an in-place turnaround, which allowed him to start directly against the wall, without using Moonwalk to set it up.
Neorific's on phase 2 as Iris is going into her Mother Brain fight. She can still make up some time if she does the Zep Skip, though.
Yeah, Iris still has Varia turned off. If Iris is able to do this fight without taking any damage, then she'll be fine.
She decided not to Zep Skip, so more than likely, unless something unfortunately happens to Neorific, he will be our second place finisher today.
Yeah, hopefully Iris remembers to turn Varia back on. Because I think with the reserves, Iris still has enough health, but Iris is going to have
enough missiles. Just enough missiles for phase 1. Oh, wait.
Iris choosing to just refill rather than turn Varia back on, which I think is interesting. So with Varia Suit off, the Rainbow Beam will deal double damage to Iris. So it'll deal 6 E-tanks worth of damage. So if she does not get hit, she will be at 19 health after Rainbow Beam.
And she takes damage.
She still has some in her reserve, so she could just pause and refill from her reserve, but chooses instead to just turn Varia on at this point. I think it would have been faster just to turn Varia on as soon as she had taken damage before, but it's one of those things where in the spur of the moment, you might just think, oh, just fill from the reserves, but then, yeah, she took another hit. Neorific on Mother Brain 3, and done with Mother Brain 3.
That's what stand-up does, and then he'll have his 3-minute run.
Neorific not correcting that door transition costs about a second. Not that that affects much at that point, but that's one of those deceptive door transitions that like you wouldn't think is that big of a deal, but it actually is one of the like worst door transitions in terms of the amount of time it takes if you don't correct it.
Now Iris is on her phase 3. And she'll do her run.
Yep. Iris just choosing to do the lag corner strat there, which, although it's slow, it's very reliable. It guarantees you will not get hit by any attacks.
And as you say that, she gets hit with the attack. Neorific finishes in second with an official SRL time of 2:05:04. Hey, GG's in chat for Neorific. Alright. So Iris will now do her fun run. And then we'll be all done today. Just in time, because I think V31 is supposed to drop here in about 4 minutes or so. And we got Neo in here. GG, Neo.
GG.
So what was your planning throughout the seed? What was your plan whenever you read the spoiler log?
Oh boy, I don't have a good process for that, so I'm always surprised by the start of the race. As you might have noticed, I started 30 seconds late. I didn't realize again we had started. But what I usually do is go through the spoiler log and eliminate useless stuff as much as I can. Then I try to piece together a route that makes sense, but I didn't have time to finish, so I winged it a bit. I realized late that Super Metroid didn't have much of anything, so we could finish Link to the Past very early and wrap up Super Metroid next.
So what would you have done differently now that you know where all the go mode stuff was? Like, what would have been your game plan?
I would have picked up 2 less E-tanks. I thought I had set 5 when I went back to Link to the Past, but apparently I had 7, so I ended up with 9.
I'm going to go ahead and call that Iris finishes in third with 2:07:32, thus finishing the race. She's going to go ahead and talk to the French restream first. All right, but so other than that, like, what part of the seed did you least like? Like, what part did you kind of like dread when you was making your route?
Well, the required swamp double dip, logically that is, and yeah, charge beaming is. I wanted charge plasma just to obliterate bosses and not have to worry about dodging their stuff or having ammo for them. Charge was in a sand pit and plasma was in Ganon's tower, so that was a go. But then I realized later that Link to the Past can be beaten pretty much without dipping Super Metroid too much. Like, we had stuff very, very up front in Upper Norfair and Brinstar, if I remember. Oh yeah, what I would do differently is try a better process of going through the spoiler log. My method is slow, so it's probably something better I can do. Maybe just finding, using Control F to find all the absolutely required items first, like hammer and mitts, and then work from there, maybe. Oh yeah, Iris always saves an animal.
Not only did she save the animals, she also did Link to the Past 5 hearts. So don't forget to give her a follow just for that awesome feat right there.
Yeah, that was gutsy.
Were you hanging out with us in Twitch chat as you was playing, or did you not do that?
Oh no, I just remember that this is something Iris likes to do.
No. I was just saying, were you hanging out with chat with us? Because Aussie was our like third commentator for a bit there.
No, I don't have enough screen real estate to pull up another chat.
Is there anything else you want to add before hanging on out here?
No, not really. Thanks for commentating, you and Mr. Link.
Anytime. You know me, I usually sign up for commentary all the time for this stuff. Don't forget to give Neorific and the rest of the runners a follow. Again, they showed some very good skill here today. And have a good day, Nia.
Thanks. You too.
Probably play some multi-world with you later if you want.
Sure.
Alright, I still think Iris is chatting with the French restream right now. We'll see if she decides to join us after that interview. Well, what did you think, Link?
Yeah, I mean, I think. Yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, it was basically with where the beams were. It basically wound up being like a Link to the Past randomizer seed followed by a Super Metroid Go mode. And yeah, just. Yeah, I mean, just because of where Charge and Plasma were. But yeah, other than that, yeah, and just the fact that Gravity was kind of in Turtle Rock, it was kind of, yeah, I mean, it was interesting because I think, like, yeah, it was ultimately faster to just go for Gravity where it was. It would have been interesting to see, like, if one of the runners had chosen to just do Suitless Meridia, but yeah, with where Charge was, that was actually kind of probably a tall ask, because like the thing with it is like it's not necessarily getting to Charge Beam, it's getting out of Meridia after you get out of that sand pit, because it's a lot of really tight jumps through those sand halls.
But yeah, no, I mean, another option, you could have just put down where all the super missiles were and just routed those into it and still did suitless, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I think it's just in these spoiler races, you're almost certainly going to go find Charge. Like, I'd say Charge probably is up there, like, as like the number one non-required item that you're looking at, just because it's so slow to have to go around picking up every like 60 super missiles and like 40 or 45 regular missiles and have to route those all in, and it also just would take so much time as part of your planning if you had to specifically find a way to route all that in. Because, yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just like you have 25 minutes, you just have the full spoiler log, you have to kind of parse out where all the required items are, try to make some semblance of an order out of them, and try to like at least get yourself enough of a start of the route that you can figure it out from that point. That, yeah, you want to try to minimize the number of things you have to keep track of. So that's why I think like I think it would take a lot. Like, Charge would basically have to be on pedestal in order for runners to skip it.
Going on with what's coming up today for Speak Gaming, we got the Link to the Past open weekly right now. There's some Duckling Derby and Final Fantasy Randomizer, plus some other Final Fantasy Randomizer shenanigans. This channel will have Super Metroid Randomizer here in about an hour and a half. Speed Gaming 3 will have some Metroid Prime Randomizer. If you guys haven't seen that yet, that's pretty hype right there. Some Z1R on Speed Gaming 3 also later on today. Plus some Mario Kart 64. Looking next week, more Metroid Primes. We got some Wednesday Magic. Looks like we have next Saturday, we have a Link to the Past crowd control race. You guys like watching those? Those are pretty hyped usually. Tomorrow night, we also have the SMZ3 randomizer as well. We'll be doing a hard randomized seed. Nothing special with that, other than we'll be on hard difficulty. Oh yeah, let's not forget about Super Mario Maker 2. Every Saturday, Speed Gaming is going to give away $100 to 4 people who submit the best stages and perform the best on stream and off stream. It's a great event. I'm one of the play testers, so if you want to give me a very hard level to play and torture me and all that stuff, I'm the one that has to go through that. I've even submitted some stages too. It's a fun event. You get to see all kinds of different creative stages. Plus, your stages, you may be asked to make stages for Speed Gaming Live, which is next month, by the way. You guys haven't realized that yet either. Speed Gaming Live is going to be pretty big.
Yeah, so with that, I think we're still just waiting a bit to see if Iris wants to come in for an interview, and then okay, so sounds like Iris is coming in, so we'll just be a minute, and then yeah, we'll get to hear from her.
GG, Iris.
Hello there. Wow, I'm not too late. That's nice. Thank you for the GGs.
Yeah. He was just talking up a storm over there on our sister channel, Speed Gaming Francois. Is that how you pronounce it?
Pretty much, yes. Speed Gaming Français, I would say.
Francois?
Wait,
Okay.
I cannot even take my French accent if I speak in English. That's atrocious.
By the way, the bravery on you going through Ganon's Tower, 5 heart. Is that something you practice?
Not really. Actually, I'm really happy I found the powder because it was an accident. I was lucky with that one. I guess no one else tried to do that, if you tell me about this. Eventually.
What? Sorry, I did not hear your question.
Excuse me, is my mic fine, maybe? Is that...
Yeah, it is good.
Okay. I'm
Sorry,
just asking if you're asking this because, well, if I was the only one to do that.
Yeah. I think Aussie did 8 heart and Neorific did 10 heart.
Yeah, okay, maybe I went a bit too much on Super Metroid for safeties and a bit not enough on Link to the Past.
No, you showed some skill. That's some strong skill right there. Super strong skill. That was amazing.
Well, thank you, Random Powder. That was lucky, really. I guess OC won by execution, as I heard on Speaking in Francais. I heard he used the same routing as. Well, I heard that we all three use the same routing. I'm not sure for Anglaise.
I'm so sorry. I'm having a hard time.
It is fine. Don't worry about this. You just commented 3 hours. That happens. It's fine. What I wanted to ask is, did we all three follow the same routing, like for real?
No, you actually was following Aussie for about an hour. Neorific did a completely separate path. Neorific actually did Morph Ball, Bow first. Aussie
That was
went and
a
got
way.
Lamp. Aussie did Pod before Mirror because he wanted boots and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I wanted the mirror before pod and boots. That was a mistake, I think. I guess it's a mistake. Excuse me, you can continue.
No. It wasn't a mistake. Aussie was saying one, he was going to go watch the restream and see how you two routed. But he said he wished he would have done Mirror before Boots.
Okay then, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, you did the play he wanted to do, and I guess he did the play you wanted to do. It happens. It happens sometimes.
Well, my main problem is that I kinda mixed up my notes and I put the mirror after Paradox Cave. So once I reached that point in my notes, I was like, wait, I cannot do Paradox Cave. What did I miss? So for that part, it is why you saw me on Dead Mountain, saving quitting, going back on Dead Mountain, saving quitting, going to Village of Outcasts. That explained the panic at that moment. I don't know if it happened on speed gaming, but I saw my chat flooded by lulz. So
Again, I'm sorry. I'm like half deaf, so any kind of it's not you. It's more like I have a hard time following accents sometimes.
yeah,
Um,
sorry. I guess my accent is not helping, so I will try to
No,
talk
no,
a little
no.
bit more slowly. It's fine.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's more me on this part. I'm very sorry about that. Link, do you have any questions for Iris?
Yeah, so
of
I guess the one question I kind of had. So you went for the sword all the way behind Ice Armos. Did you think at any point about like the sword that was on Bumper Ledge?
I saw that one and it was there. Well, just I saw the map ledge. I don't plan on going there, or is the cape? I saw the cape was in desert. Then I thought that Misery Mario would be late. Desert, I don't ever know when to look for the book. So probably that one sword will be slower than going all the way to Ice Armors. That's what I guessed, at least. I don't know if I was right for this.
Yeah,
I mean, oh, go ahead.
Our book was Pong Rocks. I did not even look for it. Yeah, maybe they would have been pretty similar then with the book.
I mean, the mirror was probably the faster way to get to Cape. I mean, I think Aussie was in desert for all of 15 seconds.
Yeah, that is something to think about. I was really busy trying to route all my stuff together, and I did not have time to look for more safeties. And you see, I still made mistakes in my routing, like things in the wrong order. Which I think in the end I did pretty fine. Like, I'm not last.
I mean, you were second until you went for the green gate glitch.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was that's actually what cost you the race, because you and Neorific actually had synced up Ridley kills.
Yeah, I have no consistency. Sometimes it's first try, sometimes it is one or two tries. I don't know how it works, but it works sometimes.
I mean, I think that's just a summary of Green Gate Glitch in general. It's like you get, it's just first try or like 30th or whatever.
There has to be a logic. It cannot just be random. Yeah, I got
go
a bit
ahead.
scared with the errands at Crocomire because I was not really sure about how much energy it will take to go all the way up after Crocomire. I was thinking that maybe 3 times would be short, but in the end, it seemed fine. I still think I should have taken Quake and the Ice Beam at the same time. So I would not have double dipped Northfar. Maybe that would have been optimized.
Yeah, because I know like space and screw attack were like available really early. I think that made those hell runs a lot easier than they otherwise would have been.
Well, we had a lot of mobility, like the 4 major mobility items, speed, Asian boots, space, and screw attack, were all 4 in the early game, so it was a really, really friendly seed regarding speed. And the boosts were not in Ganon's Tower, so I'll take it. I don't know if something exceptional happened, or a question from the chat, or if you were curious about the location of an item.
Yeah, no, I mean, what would you have done differently overall now that you've done the seed?
I think I would fix my routing regarding Paradox Cave, found that E-Tank, and do Norfair in one shot to get that Quake Medallion and the Ice Beam. That would have been smart. But, well, I accept that. Successing at bringing glitch eventually.
Get the consistency down. Other than that, is there anything else you would like to say or plug or anything like that?
If he is alive.
Well, GG to everyone. Don't forget to follow everyone. Don't forget to follow all the Speed Gaming channels, including our foreign language channels. Link, do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, nothing really. I think like everything's basically been said at this point. So yeah, I guess unless you have anything else to say, Kuchiri, I guess, or Iris, yeah, was definitely a fun race, and with that, may you not find your Varia suit on Shack Tool, and see you next mission.
Yeah, made the Triforce be with all you guys and see you next mission.
Actually, that's right.
Oh, what?
Shack Tool has not been required 4 times in a row for me.
Very
You lifted my
nice.
curse. Thank you.
Have a good night, Iris.
Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow the crew.